I'm recording this on the 17th of April 2024. 5 days ago, I came across someone in one of the stroke groups. I'm not gonna mention her name because it's too. I don't want people searching. But I've been watching this cop drama recently. It's called The Rookie, so let's just call it The Rookie. I've been speaking to Rookie on the first day. I sent, because I've been spending past few years talking to strangers, hundreds of people, trying to help them. Let me just say something about myself first. I had a stroke, a massive Category 5 stroke, at the end of 2015, and I was left completely paralyzed, both arms, both legs, and both hands. I managed to get it back. If you've been on the stroke group long enough, you will know people who get paralyzed, a lot of them don't get it back. Actually, most of them don't get it back. Even one limb, they can't get it back. How I was able to do it, it's not because it wasn't bad. Mine was worse than everyone else. What was different is I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a good side. Part of my brain was removed, so I was paralyzed on both sides. So what usually happens is people, they try, a few weeks and a few months, and naturally the negativity starts flowing in. This is useless. And they give up, because they still got one good hand. So they start planning, how will I start doing things with one hand? And when I didn't have a good hand, I approached it differently. A lot of people, they try the physical approach, they try physical, whatever. I didn't have any hand, I didn't have any limbs. So I had only one option. I made it a mental challenge for myself. So in the second hospital, I forced out a movement on my right arm, and at that time I didn't even know it was possible. No doctor told me, no physio told me if you do this you'll get it back. It's just I was 41, I was completely paralyzed, and I just told myself, there's no way I'm gonna die like a quadriplegic at age 41. So I got my right arm back first, and then everything else. One at a time. I got everything back. I'm starting to. I can walk now. Anyway, we're talking about Rookie. So 5 days ago, she messaged me, and we started talking, and I sensed it. I sensed there's something different with this girl. On the second day, I called it. I knew inside she was gonna do it. She was gonna make it. Now, 10 months ago, I spoke to a guy from New Zealand, a 26-year-old. His name is Rimu. I've posted about him before. And that guy, I sensed on the very first day that this guy is different, and he was gonna make it. And he did make it. He recovered his hand almost completely. It was 10 months ago. He's 6 weeks later, he was moving, and we made a goal that, okay, in the first few days, he sent me a video of him watching my videos on his TV in the living room, and he gave me a thumbs up. And I said, show me a thumbs up with your bad hand in 2 months. And he told me he'll do it in one. And he succeeded in six weeks, and within 3 months he's almost normal. I've got videos. I'll have to make another video. And I spoke to him a couple months ago. This guy used to be a tiler. He tiles ceramic tiles, and he's working full time already. So he's got both his hands, and he's lifting heavy ceramic tiles all day. Now we're talking about Rookie. So almost 3 years paralyzed. I think her left hand, and she started speaking to me. I had a feeling on the first day, but on the second day, I called it. Inside, I knew she was going to be like my Rimu 2.0. She was going to be the one that succeeded. And why? Because I think on the first day, I recommended, she's got a daughter, okay? So I said, tell your daughter if any time she sees you and you're not trying to move your fingers, you're not trying to move your hand, tell her to tell you, to remind you. Say, "Mommy, you're not moving your hand." And you know, kids are super wrong, you know, like super so full of energy. By her doing that, you know that kid is gonna be bugging her all day. If she's not moving her hand, the kid's gonna be bugging her. So, and I asked her, "Did you ask your kid to do that?" And she said yes. And I knew then, this girl will make it. You know, even though she's been paralyzed for almost 3 years, I'll add the videos either at the end or in the beginning. I don't know yet. And then I set a goal for her. I challenged her. I told her, tell her daughter, in 2 months' time, Mom's gonna tie your hair with both hands. And she agreed to that. We made a deal, and she's gonna do it. I'm gonna help her, and this is just recording the start of the journey. At the 2 month mark, we'll make another video. But when something like this happens, you gotta really want it really badly, and then you gotta work for it. You know, don't research online looking for cures, and you know, there isn't cure from fixing paralysis. You have to want it, and you have to fight for it. And why does girl Rookie? Because she wants it bad, and because I've been doing this for years. I recognize just by talking to her. First of all, she wants it bad, and then the recommendation I gave her, she took it on. Anyway, this is day one. Actually day 5, but it's my first video. Now, how I managed to recover. I made a video about that. It's part 11. It's called Burning Your Bridges. I gave myself no option. Mentally, I gave myself no option but to succeed. I'm not going to talk about it again, but it's in part 11 if you want to watch. And why do I think Rookie will succeed? Because I burned her bridges for her. What is a mother's strongest instinct? It's her child. It's her, you know, her strongest connection is to her child. And I told her to challenge. My goal for her was tell her daughter in 2 months, Mom's gonna tie your hair with both hands, including the bad hand. And she agreed to that, and she told her daughter. And by doing that, she burned her bridges. Because if she doesn't succeed this time, but she's still paralyzed after almost 3 years, so she gave up. Why will this time work? One, she's always wanted it, but she didn't know how to get it. But now she's seeing someone who's done it before, and someone is trying to help her, and she's taking on my recommendations. I told her to burn her bridges by telling her daughter in 2 months' time, Mom's gonna tie your hair with both hands. And she agreed to it. She agreed to my goal. And she told her daughter that. And this is why I believe this time she will make it. Because her daughter is gonna make that happen. Imagine in 2 months' time, if she fails, she has to look into her daughter's eyes and see the disappointment. No mother's gonna, you know, she's gonna fight like hell. Like how I burned my own bridges when I was in hospital, and several other times. I spent over 7 years in a wheelchair, and I just retired last year. It was after my Burn Your Bridges 3. I implemented Burn Your Bridges 3 happened, and I finally retired my wheelchair. I've done it 3 times. And Rookie here, she's talking to me. She wants it bad. She's taken on all my recommendations. And I told her to burn her bridges, and she did. This is why I truly believe it deep down, this time she will succeed. Because she's a mother, and she's told her daughter that she's gonna tie her hair in 2 months' time. And I told her, you don't want to look at the disappointment in your child's eye, so you better make this happen. And anyway, June 13th. Any questions, just ask me in the comments. Her goal is June 13th, by the way.